My name is Ken.
And my name is Jason.
And today we're reviewing Zombies! So Zombies was designed by a Carrie and Todd, I think it's Brettenstein? Anyway, published by Twilight Creations and put out in 2006. I imagine most people who are watching our show have probably heard of Zombies, so this is probably going to be a no-brainer.
I will kill you. I will kill you so dead.
This one's a no-brainer?
Just simmer down. So Zombies is essentially a survival horror game where, you're a bunch of survivors after the zombie apocalypse, and you're trying to escape the city. However, this is a very competitive game, so you're actually trying to be the only person to escape the city, rather than, working with your friends. In fact, there's a lot of backstabbery, as you're soon to see.
This game is very much a sort of like survival horror meets Munchkin sort of thing. At any rate, because I know how much Jason loves this game, let's get right into it. Alright, so we're going to go over the components of Zombies. We have your location tiles, such as the helipad and the starting location. And all the other locations, there are bullet and heart tokens. We have the cards. Some of them are simply event cards. Some of them might be actual equipment that you can put in front of you and use later. These are your character pawns. It's very important to note that the technical term for them is your shotgun guys. And as per the name of the game, we have zombies. Is that none of zombies? Did you want some more? Okay. Here's some more zombies. Wait, still not enough? Alright. No? Okay. Here you go. All the zombies you could eat. Oh yeah, and there's like a die. Setup time!
So now on to setup, and well, I guess we'll just sort of...
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Ken.
You're welcome. I try to help. Hey, I'm helping you with setup, right? Like, that's part of setup. Put out the zombies. That's like a first step, right?
So, first of all, lay out the starting tile. So next, each player chooses a color. I'm going to choose green.
What?
What? I like green.
Oh, come on!
So, Ken, which non-green color would you like?
Choose...
Any color that's not green. Right here.
Choose... pink!
Okay, I guess you mean red.
No, I'll choose black then.
Okay.
Fine, if there's no pink, I'm choosing black.
Next, hand out the bullets and health. So each player gets 3 bullets and 3 health. Next, take the zombies cards, shuffle them up, and deal 3 to each player. The remaining cards are left in a deck off to the side. Finally, remove the helipad tile from the stack of tiles. Give them a good shuffle. Now deal these out into 2 equal piles. Take the helipad tile and add it to one of these stacks, giving it a good shuffle. And place the remaining tiles on top of that stack. And this goes off to the side with the deck. Gather all of your zombies in a pile somewhere. Make sure the die is handy. And now you're ready to play.
So there's 7 parts to the turn, technically. So your first part is to draw a tile and place it on the table in any valid location. When a tile is placed, zombies are placed on it in every exit, or sometimes they will have special setup rules, but I'll get into that in a moment. If there are any zombies in your current location, that is the current space that you are in, you have to fight them before you can go any further. Then you must roll the die to make your movement. You then may move up to that many spaces. You must stop and fight all zombies that you continue on that space. This is the zombies sort of fighting part of the movement step. So I move 2 steps over here, and I would have to fight this zombie. Zombies are defeated on a 4+, and defeated zombies are placed in your inventory. After you've completed your movement step, you may roll a die and move that many zombies. So I can move this zombie here. However, more than one zombie cannot occupy the same location, so all the other zombies get stuck right there. At the end of your turn, you may discard one of the cards from your hand, and during your turn, you can play a card. And I should note that before the movement step, you would actually draw back up to your hand of 3 cards. I don't think I mentioned that the first time through, but that's important for subsequent turns. It doesn't matter on the first round so much. So I'm going to explain combat, which I kind of already did. When you're in combat, in the same location as a zombie that is, you roll the die, and if your result is 4 or greater, you succeed, killing the zombie and adding it to your collection. If the result is less than 4, you have to spend a life. The zombie has gotten a hit on you. However, you can choose, before you spend a life, you can choose to spend bullet tokens. Every bullet token spent increases your die result by 1. So I would have to spend 2 bullets to increase my die result to the result of 4 from the 2 that I rolled. Combat continues until you have killed the zombie or until the zombie's killed you. If the zombie kills you, you're placed right back in the center of Town Square. You lose half, rounded up, of all the zombies you've collected, and half rounded up of any weapons you have in play. The rest of the turn continues as normal, so you would still move zombies and you would still discard a card if you choose. And you then start the next turn with 3 life and 3 bullets, regardless of how many you had before. You'd have to discard down or gain up, depending on what's going on. Alright, next I'm going to explain how event cards work. First off, your events may be played at any time. You can only play 1 event card during a round, so that means on your turn you can play an event card, or instead of playing an event card on your turn, you could wait until someone else's turn to play an event on them instead. You may discard 1 event card at the end of your turn, and showing that you've discarded a card shows that that is the end of your turn. You can't continue on doing anything from there, and the next person should start playing. There are some event cards that can only be played in certain named locations. So an example, if a card stated that you need to be at the army surplus in order to play it, that means you have to be in that building in order to actually play that card. Usually that means you find that card in that building and such like that. If the event deck is ever empty, you just reshuffle it. There's no big deal. Cards that are played in front of you are considered in play and don't count towards your hand limit. Using an item does not count as playing a card. And at any point in time, or rather at the end of your turn, you can never have more than 3 event cards. So if you ended your turn with more than 3 event cards, you would have to discard until you only had 3 left. Next I'm going to explain placing map tiles. So when you place a map tile, it has to be adjacent to a tile that's already in play. It has to connect to a road. So roads have to touch. All the map tiles are done up in such a way that there's a path piece in the center. So that shouldn't normally be an issue. When you place a new tile, you place a zombie at each entrance and exit, or alternatively, if you play a special location, that is, you play a location that has a name, you place zombies equal to the zombies noted, you place life tokens equal to the life tokens noted, and you place bullets equal to the bullets noted. So when setting up a special location like this, zombies have to go inside the building. These are always going to be building locations. Same as any bullets and life tokens. Bullet. Bullet. When doing this, you have to ensure that no more than 2 tokens of any type are ever in the same space. So if I also had to set up life tokens in this setup as well, I would have to place them here and here. I couldn't place one of these life tokens on the same location as one of the bullet tokens because there's already a zombie and a bullet token there. In addition, there can never be more than 1 type of token in the same place. So I couldn't just place both of the bullets in that location. Now, back in the day when we used to play this game, there was a rule that when you're entering a building, you had to go in through the spot that actually had a door icon in it, whereas like you would actually look at the picture and there's a door there. I'm fairly certain that nowadays it's just simply you can just go in and out of that location as you wish. The thing is with zombies is that the rules are kind of like they're not really hard and fast like that, so if you choose to do one or the other, it's not really wrong. So, figure out which one you guys are going with beforehand, just so everyone's using the same rules, and then go from there. It is technically possible to play map tiles in such a way that no further map tiles can be played. The player who places the last tile in this way loses the rest of their turn immediately, and then play continues until one player successfully kills 25 zombies. That is the alternate method of completing the game, but I'll get to that in a moment. When zombies move, you are rolling one die, and the result is equal to the number of zombies you can move anywhere on the board. So 2 would mean I could move 1, 2, or 1, 2. Zombies can't occupy the same space though. So if I wanted to move these 2 zombies here, this one would have to move forward, and then one of these would have to fill in the space behind it if I wanted to move, again, both of those in the same round. And it doesn't always have to be from the same location, and you can move zombies across tiles. Basically, they can travel the same paths that you can. If there's ever a tile drawn that cannot be legally played, it is actually discarded and the rest of the turn just continues on as normal. So, as previously alluded, there's 2 ways to win the game. 1, you kill and have in front of you 25 zombies. Sometimes that's actually fairly easy depending on the hand you get dealt. Sometimes it can be really, really hard. So, if you want to be the zombie killer, go for it. But your other players are probably going to try to beat you down every chance they get. Alternatively, you can get to the helipad. If you reach the center square of the helipad, you simply win. You are the only survivor to make it out of the town alive. And screw all your friends. Alright, so I guess we'll roll off to see who goes first. Ooh, 6. 5.
So close.
I know. So, I get to go first. So, I get to flip a tile. I get the drugstore. So, the drugstore is played with 3 zombies and 3 life tokens. Alright, there's no zombies in my space, and I'm up to 3 cards, so I'm going to roll to move. I get a 6.
Unfortunately, his shoe's untied.
No! Divide target's movement, roll in half, rounded down. Alright, so that means I actually only got to roll movement of 3. You jerk. So I'm going to go 1. Oh, sorry. The force I have it there. 1, 2. So I'm going to enter this location here and try to fight this zombie. I only got a 3, which means the zombie would beat me, but I'm going to spend an ammo to defeat that zombie. It's placed in front of me, and because I am in the same location as an ammo or a life token, I just get to simply absorb that up. That's my turn. I get to roll to move some zombies. I get to roll 5 zombies! Well, only there's 2, so I'll just move those 2.
Alright.
Actually, I'll move this guy here instead. Anyway, that's the end of my turn. Jason, you're up.
Alright, so at the start of my turn, I get to draw back up to 3 cards.
That's right.
So I draw 1.
Oh, I could have discarded a card too on my turn. I forgot to play that. Oh, and I was in the drugstore. Okay. Sorry. I didn't realize I had this card. So I'm going to play the first aid kit. That's fine, right? And then I'm actually going to choose to discard this card at the end of my turn. I forgot that I could do that. Anyway, go ahead, Jason.
Alright. So now that I've drawn back up, I get to draw a tile, and I get the florist shop. Now this is placed with 3 zombies on it, along with 1 life token and 1 bullet token. So next up is my movement roll. I get a 4. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, fight a zombie. Alright, I rolled a 2. Yeah, I'm just going to lose 2 bullets. Alright, so that's 1 zombie down. And I actually gain a bullet. Alright, I have 1 more move left, so I'm going to move into this space and fight this zombie. Got a 3. So, I'm going to spend a bullet. Kill that guy. And I get an additional life. Alright, let's see here.
3 zombies.
3 zombies. Okay. Well, first of all, I'm going to do that. And I'm also going to discard a card at the end of my turn. Okay?
Alright, so first off, drawing a new tile, and it's simply a 4-way. I'm going to put it here. Because there's no zombies noted on it, simply a zombie is placed on every entrance and exit. Alright, I get to draw back up to 3. And hey look, a shotgun! I get +1 to my next 3 rolls. 3 bullets are placed on this to note that. And I'm going to roll for my movement. Only 2. Well, I move here. And I'm going to roll against that zombie. That's a 6. Well, didn't need that shotgun, but it's unfortunately wasted anyway. So, 1 shot is wasted with the shotgun. The zombie is taken out, and a health is taken. Since I can only ever have a maximum of 5 life tokens, there's not much point in me collecting that last one, because I can't. So, my next movement is going to be to go over here and get this zombie. So, that's a 4, so I actually managed to take out that zombie pretty easily too. Well, that would be my turn. So, I get to roll for zombies. 4 zombies. 1, 2, 3. And unfortunately I can't move another one because that's all locked up now. Alright, Jason's up.
Alright, so first of all, I will place a tile. I have the Army Surplus Store. So I'm going to put that up here. That gets 2 zombies. And 2 bullets. Next, I am going to draw up to 3 cards. So I draw 1 card. And now I roll for my movement. 6.
Lordy.
Well, that'll do the trick. Alright, well, first of all, I'm going to go 1, and I'm going to fight this zombie. Got a 3. I will use my last bullet. Alright, so 2, 3, 4 to pick up this bullet. 5, fight that zombie. Ooh.
Nowhere close.
So unfortunately I lose a life there. Alright, so this time I got a 6. So I took him out. I gained another bullet. I have 1 movement left, so I'll go in and fight this zombie. And got a 5. So that's it for my movement. So I roll the dice to see how many zombies I get to move. 5. So we're going to go 2 and 3. And again, this one is kind of blocked in there, so there's not much I can do there. At the end of my turn, I can discard a card if I wish. And I think I'm going to. And now it's Ken's turn.
Alright, that was zombies. Jason, I know how much you love this game, so tell me what you thought.
Well, this is not my favorite game. It's probably not even close. I mean, that's not to say it's a horrible game, but it's just not something I really enjoy playing all that much.
Would you say it's horrifying? Survival horrifying?
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll think of more puns then.
So what do you think, Ken?
Well, I think Zombies is kind of that quintessential beer and pretzels game that is sort of made for like the designer board gaming community. It is a very silly game. It is a very random game. And I think we may receive a little flack for our opinions on this. I enjoy this game more than Jason does. Jason really isn't obviously a big fan of it, I think, as he's already more or less made clear. But this definitely isn't one of my favorite games either, but I really love playing this game because it's just playing it with friends and like drinking or just like not taking it seriously is when this game is pretty much at its prime. If you take the game a little seriously, then you might get a little frustrated, and I admit the random factors in this game sometimes are a little frustrating.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the thing for me. It just seems at its very core to be a roll and move game, and I don't like those.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one, if I was going to point out like one thing that I would change permanently for Zombies, is the whole roll and move mechanic. Roll your die, move your mouse. Roll your dice and move your mouse. Roll your dice and move your mice. I'll just stick with that. There's no sense in changing a phrase that ain't broke. However, one of the things that the Zombies rulebook does very specifically state is that if you don't like something, change it. Like, it's very much open to, like, play this game the way you want to play it. So, in theory, you could easily play this game without the roll the die and move sort of mechanic. You could change it up that, like, you had roll die plus blah, or perhaps roll 2 dice and take best, or even just perhaps roll 2 dice. Of course, that somewhat invalidates some of the cards that you get later on in the game. You'd get things like the skateboard that give you a bonus movement. You've got the keys are still in the car, which allows you to move 10 spaces, and all that sort of jazz. There's just, unfortunately, the roll and move mechanic is definitely built in pretty heavy to this game.
Yeah.
I don't know. This game is certainly also not without a wealth of expansions. So I mean, if it's just the flavor, just like you don't for some reason you bought Zombies and you didn't want to just run around a town killing zombies, there's a ton of expansions. I think there might be up to like 10 now.
I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah,
I don't follow this.
They've got quite a few, and this isn't my copy of Zombies, actually. It's a friend of mine's, and he actually has a couple copies of Zombies, and I have a couple copies of Zombies. And personally, I'm more of a fan of this one called Zombies 4, which is Zombies the End, where you sort of play more of like an Evil Dead sort of style of game, where you're like trying to find pages from the Book of Magic, you gotta go to this cabin and then fight off some demons and stuff. Which I think changes the end game a little bit, because I feel that the games that sort of end abruptly, like, get here and you win! Kind of not really... That's always kind of annoying for the other players, because it's like, well, maybe he was just in the right place at the right time and just happened to win through complete random happenstance. Although, again, the randomness in this game is pretty high up there, too. Alright, so that's Zombies. Jason, what do you think?
Personally, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not a big fan. It uses roll and move, which I hate, and it just overall seems pretty random. It's not a terrible game, and it should be noted this is just my opinion. So not to enrage any Zombies fans out there, but yeah, I don't really like it.
And that's fair. I mean, I think up to this point, we've mostly been looking at games that we both kind of like anyway, with the exception of some. And I really feel this is the game that, like, we're kind of like somewhat at ends, but it's not a game that we're both particularly keen with. I'd have to give this game a 3.5. 3.5. Just because I do like this game, and I like this game more than some of the other games we've reviewed so far. This game has its flaws, but the flaws can be changed. I feel like this game it's really not a game to be taken seriously. That much is very obvious. And if you are taking it seriously, you're kind of doing it wrong. But I mean, there's no way to have bad fun. Well, there's no such thing as bad fun as long as you're having fun, as long as you're not hurting anybody else. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of games like the backstabby games like this and Munchkin. Both of those games are very backstabby, and something about them a lot of people really really love them because of the silliness and the randomness of it, and they don't really do a whole lot for me. But I will play them. I have no problem playing them, and I do generally enjoy playing them. So I guess that's going to give us a grand total of 6.5 meeples. I think it's our lowest score, actually.
Probably.
Yeah. I've always kind of regretted the way we sort of started off our scoring system. Kind of feel like I would have given Dungeon Quest maybe a lower rating, but just because we started off there, I've always kind of felt like I needed to get things a little higher of a mark.
Well, anyway.
Yeah, regardless.
Alright, so that's it for today, and join us next time for Twilight Imperium.
See you next time. Have good games.